Hi, thank you for watching a new video blog. Why do celebrities age so badly and die so young? Celebrities are basically there for the slave people, the common people, to look up to. Something that they perceive as valuable, high status people. The slaves, the common people, trapped in the system, they need this. They need somebody to look up to. They need somebody to be a little bit better than themselves, doing a little bit better financially, getting attention, doing something that is as perceived as more important, like a movie star or a sports star or a YouTuber or a TikToker or whatever. But most of them, they don't realize that these people are just as bad off as they are, probably worse. One thing that you also will see with celebrities is that they age really bad and they die really young. When I was younger, of course, I also looked up to a few of the celebrities, movie stars, rock stars. Later I found out that these people live miserable lives, way more miserable than the common people. If you live in a common life, a slave life, so to say, and a slave cannot, you might think, oh, this sounds very negative, but a slave is just somebody that sells his capacity to earn a safe surrounding and a steady income. That's basically what a slave is. It's not something, we think that somebody get whipped the whole day, but a slave is just somebody that, like a contract laborer. But anyway, I used to look up at them as well, and I found out that, yeah, well, they live miserable lives. And first of all, I saw that they just ate horribly. Most of them were just have no idea about nutrition, about food. They eat garbage. I always saw videos of movie stars, and they, for example, Brad Pitt, very common, typical guy that is very perceived as a high status person, and even in his movie Ocean's 11 he's eating like a lot of garbage, like hamburgers, tacos, like slave food, like cheap slave foods, ice creams. Not the worst, because you can get even worse, like vegan foods, but anyway, a hamburger is mostly plant-based, so they don't know anything about nutrition. And also when you see them in real life, or when you hear what they do in life, they do really bad. For example, Brad Pitt, he had an alcohol addiction. He was drinking basically all his career, so poisoning your body with this cheap poison that's not giving you even a good high. It's just really stupid to do so. And that's the first thing, that they don't get any real knowledge about nutrition because they are too busy. They are basically fully booked. If you see, for example, Brad Pitt or anybody else that's a movie star, Matt Damon or whatever guys I used to perceive as high status, if you see their Wikipedia, they make a movie every year. It's just like fully booked. They don't have time to read really into nutrition, to think about it. They depend on their coaches, their managers, and they will tell you, of course, the worst diets. They will say, oh, you lose weight, cut all the fats. That's also what they tell you. They will say, oh, I just ate lean chicken breast with broccoli, just like the cheapest that you can get, just the most horrible foods. And chicken is okay, but probably not organic chicken. They probably leave the skin, the fats that you need to absorb the nutrients from the muscle meat. Broccoli is just a waste product. It's basically the worst that you can eat. It's, besides being horrible, it's just the taste. I really don't like it. It's also really like not even a good food. It's a horrible food because it's full with pesticides, and even when it's organic, it's just there's not much in it to get out of, like vitamins. So yeah, because they don't have a lot of time, they don't have a lot of knowledge about healthy life and about healthy foods. And also because they don't have a lot of time, they cannot really relax. You always see them, oh, he's outdoors, you know, Matt Damon, or I don't know, just I haven't seen a movie in a long time. These were the guys that I used to look up to when I was in my 20s. And you see that, oh, they're walking outdoors and they look like a mess. They always look like messy. They just look like they haven't showered in a week. And I always like have a belly and going out to eat a hamburger at McDonald's or something. And they don't have time. They don't have time to relax. And when they have time, they spend their time with consuming, with eating garbage, with lowering their stress levels, because they have a really high stress level because of their work. And then they need to lower their stress by eating sugars and carbohydrates and cheap seed oils and doing consumerism. And this will all lower their stress. It's just their concern. They need to lower their stress because their life is so stressed. They have no time. When they have time, they need to lower their stress quickly. They don't have time to sit like me, like just doing nothing in nature, because there could be photographers around the corner that take photos and they write, oh, he's being crazy, he's a wild man now, he's in the bush, he lost his mind, he's now scattering around in the forest. So that's the second thing. They really cannot relax at all in a natural way. They're not doing this, of course. They don't have time. They're fully booked, and when they have some time, they quickly go out and lower their stress, consumerism, and of course the attention makes them crazy. I can sit here, people can pass by, they think that I'm like a weird guy sitting in a forest talking to a camera. They don't care. Next 5 minutes later they already forgot me. But they cannot do this. So much stress, high pressure, they have to be constantly on. And these stress levels are of course toxic and damaging and deadly. A little dose of attention, that's what you can say about them. So yeah, they find ways to lower this stress by drinking alcohol, by taking drugs, by doing stupid things like eating garbage and buying stuff and go to parties, just all to lower the stress level. I don't want to do this all because I don't have a stress level that high. I don't want to drink because it will disrupt my good vibration that I have. I don't want to go to shopping because when I go to shop I feel nervous. I get really anxious because I think, well, this is just disrupting my good balance that I have with nature. Yeah, because they have so much stress and they are constantly under stress and they eat bad foods and they taking drugs and alcohol, they age really bad. You see many of these actors, they start to become great really early on. If you see, for example, George Clooney, Ocean's 11, I mean, I'm all memorizing old movies because, like I say, I don't watch any new movies at all. So I remember that he looked very gray. His beard is already started to gray. His hair starts to turn gray. And he is my age. I'm 41 now, and he was the same age, and he looked almost like he's 50. And they make also a joke about that in Ocean's 12. Very funny joke, but it is true. He looks old. That's because he's living in a city, under high stress, always performing, always on, eating bad foods, not taking care of himself in a natural way. He needs to lower his stress, but artificially. And that's why he looks so aged, he looks so old. All these actors with they gray really early. They are almost like 60-year-olds. Yeah, again, they also, of course, they live in a city. They live in LA or New York. That's of course the most polluted areas that you can think of. The most radiation. There's so much pollution and stress. Too many people around you. Just a disaster to happen. That's why they age so quickly. And for example, the ladies, like for example Angelina Jolie, she gets to put on also on a bad diet, like starvation diet, only vegetables, no animal fats, because they will make you fat, they think. They age also really bad. You can see clearly that their skin, they need operations to repair their skin, like to fillers and all these artificial implants. They need to do some facial reconstruction even. That's all because they live such a high stress life, and they eat bad, and they live in a bad environment. And lastly, of course, they mostly die young. Most of these actors, they get sick, they get cancer, they die early, they get an overdose, and even if they reach an older age, mostly they die because they have some disease or some cancer. And you see that the more known actors, the actors that are really busy, that they die younger than actors that they're just having smaller acting jobs, are not so famous, and live a normal family life. Because that's also a thing. Most of these actors don't live a normal family life. They cannot live a normal family life because they are constantly busy. And that is also high stress and damaging to you if you don't have a family, if you don't have children. It's a stress factor. I'm sorry to say, for people that don't have children or cannot have children, I don't mean to be mean to them, but it is a stress factor. Having no children, your mind will think of this as something dangerous, and you need to fix it, and that's constant stress. Also, when you're divorced, or when you never see your children, you feel the same, because you are waiting for something. This is just natural. Nature says you to procreate and have children, and you're just waiting for this, and you're never getting this, and you don't see your children if you have them. Yeah, that's a high stress level. You're never getting really happy. So that's also why they die mostly younger, when they have family issues, when they are divorced 3 times. It's just very bad. Musicians have a harder time. They all die quicker than movie stars, because the constant touring. They have to tour the whole time. That just takes off years and years of your life. And we've seen this. Many of the famous artists, they die young. They get addicted. They are depressed. All because they lead such an artificial life. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.